Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Welcome to the channel. Well, we are in Reaper today and we're going to be looking at how to normalize your audio track, in this case specifically for field recording. Now, does that make a difference whether it's for music or field recording? Well, in my opinion, yes. Because in music, you might want to choose to make certain sections of your track louder, others less loud, and so forth. In field recording, I typically want to keep things as original as possible. I will, for example, change the overall loudness, right, or reduce the overall noise, but I won't change individual sections of the recording in loudness because it would alter the recording, right? Anyway, so I got a recording of a passing train, and you can already see that the volume is very low. Now, I'm going to show you two different methods to normalize this audio track. One being the appropriate one and one being the not appropriate one, right? So let me duplicate this track and we're going to go right here. There you go. So we know they're identical. We're going to single this one out. We're going to mute that one for now. And if I just jump to the start and I hit play, you're going to see it's going to be, let's turn this guy off. It's going to be a very, very faint recording. And when we get to the midsection, we'll see, or hear in this case, the train passing. Okay. Now, I want to adjust that, obviously. I want to be able to hear it better. I want to hear more detail in the recording. So what do? I normalize. And when I normalize audio, like I said, there are a couple of ways to do that. You're going to select your track. You're going to right-click. You're going to go to Item Properties. When you do that, you have a whole bunch of things you can change. The only thing we're interested in right now is the Normalize button. And when we click on that, we have a drop-down menu with a number of options. Now, the only ones that I'm interested in is the top one, LUFSI, standing for Loudness Units Relative to Full Scale. You can forget about that for now. Or peak. And peak is typically referred to as a dBFS, or decibels full scale. And again, not very important to remember, as long as you know that one and that one. First, I'm going to start with peak, and I'm going to click on OK. And looks like I had them both selected, so let's not do that. Let's just select this guy. Normalize peak. Okay, there you go. All right. So what happened here? Well, Reaper looked at the recording and said, where is the highest peak in volume in the entire recording? That is just about where my mouse is, right there, right? So it pushes the volume of the overall recording way up until the highest peak is almost clipping, right? And then it stops. So now you can see that the volume is much, much louder. I'll play that for a second. There you go. And again, nothing has changed in the sense that something that's supposed to be low in volume is low in volume and vice versa, right? Now, let me show you the second method. So we're going to go to the second track. We're going to set that to single it out. We're going to mute this one. There you go. And we're going to select it. We're going to right click and go to Item Properties. We're going to go to Normalize once again. But in this case, we're not going to select peak. We're going to select LUFS, right? The top one. And we're going to click on OK. Now notice that the wave looks very different. First of all, the entire recording looks a bit flat, wave-wise. If you look at the envelope, you'll see that it doesn't have the same dynamics as the one on top here. Now, why is that? Well, what happens is, in the LUFS method, it will take an average. So it will look at the lowest peak and the highest peak, average everything out, and it kind of becomes a more vanilla recording, if you will. So very loud things were tempered down, very silent things were pushed up, and you get something looking like this. Now, for obvious reasons, this is not what you would want to do. And you can also see in the volume that's in the top header here, it says plus 29.5 decibels compared to plus 20. Right? Very, very different shape. Now, is there a use for something like this? Potentially, let's say you're recording a podcast, right? And there's a slight difference or a large difference in the volume of one speaker, where it's going from loud to soft. Or even if you got two speakers, one is talking very loud, the other is talking very soft, you would select both tracks, normalize them using the LUFS method, right? So hopefully this explains the difference between the two, which one I would use for field recordings and which one I would use for podcasts. And yeah, that's it for me for this video. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.